How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about our 1979 Ford Bronco Ranger XLT 4x4 truck. This is a vehicle I bought from a good buddy of mine here in Texas. He goes out, finds a lot of vehicles. He actually owns a shop himself. But he had this from a local customer, again, here in Texas. He bought it, and then we got it from him. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of backstory on the truck other than that it's been in Texas for a while. I don't know when most of the work was done, but it is a good truck, and we'll dive into that here during this video. As far as other paperwork with it, we do have a Marty report and we have a clean title, but that's going to be all of the paperwork that we do have on this particular Bronco. When it comes to the mechanicals and the driveline, this is a factory, I believe, let me see here on the Marty report. Yeah, S code. S code is a 400. This truck still retains a 400 in it. I was unable to verify if it was the numbers matching motor. I couldn't get the VIN off the back of the block on the little pad. All signs point to it. Yes, it probably is the original 400, but I can't 100% verify. But it runs like a stock motor. Still retains a 2-barrel intake and carburetor on it. Just a stock style 400. Backed by a C6 3-speed automatic transmission. Shifts well, goes up and down through the gears. And then some other options. Like most of these, you have power steering, power front disc brakes. This one is a factory 4x4 truck and it has manual locking hubs. The 4x4 works like it should. This one is optioned with factory AC. Unfortunately, it's going to need some diagnostic and repair, and we'll dive into the AC a little bit further into this video, but it is a factory air truck, but it is not working. On your exhaust, you have a original style set of manifolds, dual exhaust. The mufflers look like a Flowmaster muffler, but they are not a Flowmaster branded muffler. It's like a knockoff Flow. Sounds the exact same, but it doesn't have the Flowmaster brand on it. And then you do have your full tailpipes. Factory front sway bar, and then this one does have an upgraded Rancho steering stabilizer, so the drivability actually goes down the road really well. Sometimes these trucks don't drive all that great. This one actually goes down the road nice at 60 miles an hour. Take a look at my posted test drive video. It's me driving the vehicle. It's about 9 or so minutes long. It'll be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. And again, it'll be me personally driving the vehicle, and I'll dive into some of the mechanical the overall feel and the road feel and stuff like that during that video. On my does it work section, touching back on the AC and the heat, the control head, the slides aren't doing anything. It's missing some components on the back side of the AC and heat control head. So I was unable to verify the AC and the heat. You're going to have to take that control head out, find some of the missing parts, or upgrade it to a vintage style AC system. That's what I would personally do to be a little bit more user friendly instead of tracking down some original parts. But to each their own on that. But again, heat and AC aren't working due to the fact that I haven't been able to get them to turn on because the control head inside the truck is not functioning properly. The other smaller items that aren't working is it does have an aftermarket stereo. That's not doing anything. The fuel gauge isn't reading accurately. The reverse lights don't come on. That could very well just be the bulbs. It could be a connection issue. Reverse lights are notorious for not working, so that doesn't work. Along with the flashers, the cruise, and then the sprayer fluids for the washer sprayers. They're not spraying any fluids, so a few small things. Again, probably a weekend's worth of work to get most of that stuff outside of the AC and the heat fixed. And then the back glass does go down. The switch inside the truck is not functioning, but when you put the key in the tailgate, the back glass, will go down and it will go back up. My does it work section is going to be posted in my photos. We'll have a screenshot of it at the end of the photo list. Go all the way to the end, you'll see that does it work section, or if you click on the additional infos tab on my website, click on that, it'll show you more photos, and one of those photos will be, again, a screenshot of the does it work section, which outlines what works and then what does not work on this truck. During my my normal pre-inspection that we do for every vehicle that comes through my shop here, we noted that it has a minor drip from the steering gearbox. Not fixing it. It's a small enough leak that I decided to just leave it. A small little drip from the differential cover, but everything else on the mechanicals on the bottom side checked out good. The suspension, the steering, all that stuff is in spec and it looks good and the truck's ready to go. The little drips I would classify as just kind of your normal classic car, little seeps and weeps, nothing that really needs to be addressed unless you're kind of OCD on leaks. But Old cars, they sit, they drip, they seep, and they weave. It just gets some little things like that. Not worth it for me to replace all of the gaskets, as it very well could start dripping again. The underneath, again, other than that, it looks great. We'll dive into that here in a second. On the exterior, the original paint code is H, which decodes as a dark brown metallic paint. I don't know when the truck was reshot. They went back with the factory color. I would classify the paint and body as average. There are some spots on the hood as well as the sides of the truck where you can see where the body work could have been done just a little bit better, but it still is very presentable. The trim and the moldings and the bumpers and the grill, some of that stuff very well could be original. It's got dings and a little bit of wear. Again, still presentable, but it's not restored trim. A lot of it, I believe, to be original. The graphic package is the freewheeling Bronco graphic package. This is not a factory option for this truck. It was added. I think it gives the truck a fantastic look with the brown, the metallic brown paint, and then the sand color top. That's the original color of the top, is called sand. I think the freewheeling package, the graphic package, looks absolutely killer on this truck, especially with the 15-inch 8-hole aluminum wheels, the knobby aggressive 33 by 12.5 tires. I just think it's a really unique and a really cool looking truck. On your interior, the code is DT6, which is sand cloth with the vinyl. So it appears to be an original style interior. My guess is it's probably been done at some point. Overall, it's a clean interior. You have your stock style bucket seats with your center console. The gauges are they got a little haziness to them. Some of the interior trim panels and trim pieces are probably original and are showing some age. But overall, kind of like the exterior, it's not a restored truck. A lot of the components outside of the seat covers and the kick panels are probably original. You do have a rubber floor mat, and then you do have a nice newer set of floor mats on top of that. All that stuff looks good. You do have an aftermarket stereo, but it's not functioning. I would go back with a retro style radio. That would get your stereo probably working a whole lot better than the one that's in there anyway. But overall, interior checks out good. You'll see more information on that during my test drive video if you check out that video. Engine bay, no real issues. It's kind of a stock style engine bay outside of the air cleaner being replaced. Probably original paint in the engine bay, but everything else checks out good. Nothing to really note on the engine bay. On the underneath, you have a very solid original metal truck when it comes to the bottom. The floors, the inner rockers, the bottom side of the cab, everything is just very, very solid and very nice. I didn't find any rust issues or patch panels or rust repair. If you go to the website pcclassiccars.com or where you're seeing the truck advertised, if you scroll towards the end, we have a bunch of really good photos of the underneath. It'll show the true condition of the bottom side. But if you need anything else, don't hesitate to reach out and I can get you more photos of all that stuff. Overall, it is a killer Bronco. If you follow the Bronco market, all of the year Broncos are just getting so expensive. And I think this one gets you into a Bronco with a killer look for a little bit less of a price point than the earlier body style. It's a great truck, goes down the road well. Obviously, there are some things to do. Specifically, I would start with the AC and the heat. Like we talked about before, I would do the vintage AC conversion just to not have to mess with factory components. You might be chasing a rabbit hole going to find original parts. That's going to be a personal preference on what you want to do. If you want to go find the original AC control unit and find those parts, you can, or you can buy an aftermarket setup and convert the air to that. And I think that would be the more cost-effective way to go, but that's just my personal preference. It's a great truck, goes down the road well. I think it has a killer look to it, and it's just a unique looking truck. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. Make sure you check out that test drive video along with the additional infos tab. Both of them are going to be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. There's tons of pertinent information and other information outside of what I'm talking about in this video in the other test drive video along with the additional infos tab. So make sure you check that out. We'll see you guys on the next virtual description, and appreciate y'all stopping in. Have a great rest of your day.